Great, hi, I'm Coach Steve, and today we're going to do a 3-round 9-exercise routine. We'll do a little warm up in the beginning, a little cool down in the end. Things that you'll need is if you want to have a mat to lay on, that'd be fabulous. If you would like some water, please go ahead and get that as well. So go ahead and get your legs a little further than hip distance apart, and let's just bring it side to side. Get the spine involved. Turn those ankles as well, side to side. Warm up the ankles. Get the shoulders activated. Don't forget to smile. If you're able to go outside, enjoy the sun if you have some where you are. That'd be great. All right, let's go back to center. We're going to squat down and then reach all the way up overhead. Squat it down, reach overhead. Nice and easy. If you can't quite get all the way to the floor, that's fine. We're just warming up here, so as you warm up, get a little more flexible, be able to get a little deeper into the squat. This little warm up, we're warming up the shoulders, hips, knees, ankles. And the added benefit today is you get to listen to the birds too. All right, let's put our hands right in front of our chest. We're going to reach up to the side, chop down towards our knee. Bring it up to the side, chop to the knee. Again, we're just warming up here, so there's no need to really get real aggressive with this. Just getting our body ready for movement. Remember, as we go through today, we're all at different fitness levels. Let's switch sides. We are all at different energy levels from day to day too. Sometimes we need to take it a little slower. Sometimes we can really get into it and kill it. So kind of assess where you are while we're warming up here and determine where you want this to go for yourself today. Let's go back to center. And maybe it's just movement today. So if you're just doing this for pure movement, keep it nice and chill. Don't get too aggressive with any of the exercises. But if you're ready to hit it, let's go ahead and hit it hard. So last warm up is bring your knee up, shift that leg all the way around, warm up that hip flexor. Let's do 2 more on this side. If you're switching each side, that's fine. All right, if you're going to switch, go ahead and bring the knee up, rotate that hip around, and back to center. Okay. All right, for our first exercise for today, we're going to do lateral ape crawl. So I'm going to start on the side. Put my hands down on the ground, move the hands over to the side, and you're going to hop your body to your hands. Bring them to the side, hop to your hands, and go as far as you have space. If you're able to kind of get into that low squat position, try to do that. We all have different amounts of flexibility. And again, if you're really trying to hit it hard, go ahead and make this movement a lot faster than what we're doing here. Nice and easy. There we go. This is really good full body joint movements. Got our hips involved, wrists, shoulders, knees. Ankles, and rest. All right, we're going down on the ground next. We're gonna lay on our back, feet out and arms up. What we're gonna do for this one is you're gonna lift your right arm and your left leg and touch in the middle. And then switch. Really concentrate on contracting that core each time that you bring your opposite arm and leg up to the center and back down. It even stresses your core out a little bit more if you go a little bit slower on the down. But again, if you're here to really get a tough workout, go ahead, increase the pace. If you're here for mobility, bring that pace down. Very concentrated effort. Don't forget to breathe. And rest. All right, we're flipping over for a push-up. So we can do a push-up in a whole bunch of different places depending on where you are. You can do a wall push-up. You can do an elevated push-up. I'm gonna do knee push-ups today, and I'm gonna keep it nice and slow. So I'm gonna drop to the ground, give the ground a nice little tap, and then bring it up nice and slow. Bring it down and up. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to modify this to your fitness level. Again, you can really crank these out, or you could even, to make it even harder, bring it down, hold it in that low push-up position right off the ground, and then bring it up nice and slow. And rest. All right, next we're gonna flip back over and we're gonna go into crab position. So crab position, we're gonna be like this. And what we're gonna do from here is take our right hand, drive it over our head, come up to bridge position, and bring it back down. Take your left hand, go up, go into tabletop position, and bring it back down. So I like to call these Rhino reaches. I kind of imagine that when you bring your arm up, that's like a giant rhinoceros horn. So I call them Rhino reaches. If you've taken a couple of my classes before, you know animal movements are a big part of this. And they're really vital just because it's such a multi-joint movement for all of these animal movements. And that's sort of what life is too, right? Life is those being able to move in all directions. All right, and rest. All right, we're standing up for the next one. So we're gonna do a fight combination move. So we're gonna throw an elbow and do an uppercut. Throw an elbow, uppercut. Elbow, uppercut. Try to get your hips involved. And again, you can make this as hard or as easy as you want. The more you snap those movements though, the more you're gonna get out of muscularly, you're gonna get out of the movement. So if you stop it really fast, uppercut really fast, elbow stop fast, uppercut fast. You'll feel those muscles contract when you make those sudden stop motions. Get your hips involved. Get a little bouncy in your knees. and rest. Nice. All right, we're back on the ground. We're gonna do plank arm extensions. So again, you can do this plank off a wall, off a heavy piece of furniture, full plank. And what we're doing, get a little wider base with your legs, and you're gonna slowly bring your arm up and slowly bring it down. And the reason why you wanna do this slowly is because you really wanna concentrate on keeping the core as stiff as possible. Shift ever so slightly that weight to one hand when the other arm comes up. Really have to focus on your core. Right, looking good. And rest. Okay, we're up to a stand again. We're gonna do sumo squats. So try to angle your feet off to the side. And then you're tracking those knees over your feet. So instead of bringing your knees forward, like a squat we traditionally think about, we are moving our knees over our toes with our toes pointed out to the side. So if you need to slap your thighs to make you feel more like a sumo wrestler, go ahead and do that just for fun. We want to keep it a little bit fun, so go ahead and give your legs a slap. Get that serious face on like you're going to take down another sumo wrestler. 15 seconds. And as you do more of these, you should be able to get a little bit deeper into that squat. And rest. All right, our next exercise is basically a shoulder endurance exercise that I like to call raise the roof. So I'm going to put our arms out to the side, right? And then we're going to raise the roof. So the first 30 seconds is going to seem pretty easy. And then the second 30 seconds is where that muscular endurance is going to come in. This will help you when you go to the club the next time and you're doing your dance moves. You can pull out the sumo squats and raise the roof at the same time. Have some fun with it. All right, we're getting there. Keep it up. You can see how your shoulders get a little bit tired after at least halfway through. And done. All right, last is our burpee. So if you've done burpees before, go to your special burpee place in your mind with your body. I'm going to break down burpees as we get started here. So level 1 burpee, you can go to a wall, do the push up off a wall, do a squat and a reach. Or we can go down. We can step those legs out, step them back in. Put your arms up. Next, we can step it back, do a push-up, bring it back in, and jump it up if you like. Or we can go down, jump those legs back, push up, jump the legs back in, jump it up. So do burpees your way, whatever you're feeling in your body today that you're able to handle for a minute. But we only have 15 seconds left, so let's do it. And rest. All right, round number 1 is complete. Go ahead and grab yourself a drink. Work on your breathing. Get ready for round number 2. Soak in the sunshine. Think about what you're grateful for. I'm grateful that you're tuning in today. It's no fun to do this by myself, that's for sure. All right, 20 seconds. We'll get started with round number 2. All right, remember our first exercise in the next round is going to be lateral apes. So let's go ahead and get into position. Try to get down into that low squat position. Shuffle your hands to the side. Jump those feet over to the side. If you're not able to jump those feet over, go ahead and put your hands out and then walk your feet over. Hands out, walk your feet over. So there's a little modification. And even if you can't do that, and you're unable to get onto the ground, because this is a complicated move, put your hands on a piece of furniture, heavy piece of furniture, and move your legs back and forth. All right, that's an adaptation that you can make if you're unable to get on the ground. Or maybe you're in an office and you just don't want to get on the ground because it's gross. So sometimes we make modifications for our ability level. Sometimes we make modifications based on the environment that we're in. So make this work for you. The point is movement. However you're going to get that done today, let's do it. All right, excellent. All right, we're on our back. We're doing right leg, left arm, toe touches. Working our core. Bring it up. If you even want to do the poke test when you get your leg and your arm up there, you should feel that your abs are engaged. The poke test is always good to make sure you've achieved the engagement of whatever muscle you're working. So you can do this on squats. You can do a poke test for deadlifts. Even for curls, you can do a poke test if you want to see if you're actually working that muscle. It's especially good when you're trying to work the glutes, just because they're easy to let all the other muscles besides your glutes do the hard work. Like when we're talking about bridges, doing the poke test on a bridge is always good. And rest. All right, we're doing push-ups next. So again, go to your happy place for push-ups, whether that is on the ground, on the wall, heavy piece of furniture, knee push-ups, full push-ups, elevated foot push-ups, and go. Don't forget to breathe. Keep that body nice and straight from your shoulders down to wherever you're touching the ground. And rest. All right, we got our Rhino reaches next. So we're flipping over to a crab position. We're driving our arm back. So I really didn't talk about, go ahead and get started. I really didn't talk about modifications for this, but if you do need a modification, you can put your butt on the ground and reach up and across your body. It's not as effective, but you really get those lats engaged. Get up, get into tabletop position, bring it back down. "20 seconds. And rest. Whew. All right, we're up for our boxing move next. Okay. Whew. It's getting a little toasty out here. All right, so remember, we're throwing an elbow and then we're doing an uppercut. All right, and get started. Remember, the snappier the moves, the more muscle engagement you're gonna have. So if you just kind of flop around like a fish, that's really not doing anything for you. So really snap it. And rest. Whew. All right, next we got plank with arm extensions. And again, this one is very intentional. So keep this nice and slow. Get into the plank position, whatever plank position that you're keeping. Raise that arm up nice and slow. Keep that body nice and tight and straight. If you're looking at yourself from the outside, kind of say, hey, is this guy or is this person, is this woman moving any when those arms come up? You want to try to minimize that movement in the rest of your body other than your arm throughout this whole movement. And rest. Whew. All right, back to our feet. We're going to do sumo squats next. So again, we're opening up our feet out to the side as much as we can. Put your legs where you, or put your arms where you need to, and then track those knees over your feet. And again, you can do the poke test on your legs. See if your thighs are engaged during this exercise. I'm not sure you could say no if you're doing a squat, but you never know. Let's tighten them up a little bit more each time. All right, awesome. Good job. Next, we're going to raise the roof. So get those arms at 90-degree angle to your body. And we're pushing up. And again, this is one that if you really wanted to put a little weight onto your very small dumbbells in your hand, you could do that. See how that works for you. And again, you can use any of these exercises throughout the day as little micro movements. You know, if you do any of these exercises for 1 minute, when you're at the office or in the kitchen or whatever, you're not going to get sweaty doing it for 1 minute, but it'll remind your body that you're going to be active during the day and your body should be ready for movement. So remind that body that you're going to move by doing some of these movements throughout the day. Maybe one an hour, maybe one every 2 hours. Maybe once every time you feel like you have to go to the bathroom. You know, kind of make it totally random. 5 seconds. And rest. All right, our last exercise is a burpee. So it's always do your own burpee, whatever fitness level, whatever energy level that you have for today, and go. All right, we got 10 seconds. We'll be done with round number 2. And rest. All right. Whew. It gets me going a little bit. Whew. All right, grab yourself a drink, smile, work on your breathing. Get ready for the last round for today. Remember, if you got time for 2 rounds, do 2. If you got time for 1 round, do 1. With exercise, some is better than none. All right. Don't forget to hydrate. Okay. 15 seconds. I'll be back at it for round number last. Let's do this. Lateral apes. Ready? And go. So some of us like to use our metrics on our watch to see if we're ready for exercise. And sometimes our watch tells us that we're good to go. Sometimes watch tells us we're a little stressed and we need to taper off. So if that's the case, just slow these movements down. Use them for mobility. Sometimes we get up and our watch tells us one thing and we think a complete other thing. So sometimes it's good to just listen to your body and do what you think you should do instead of what your technology says. So it's always something good to look for when you're doing an exercise routine. And rest. Woo! Okay, we're on our back for toe touches. Arms overhead. Right arm, left leg. Ready and go. It's contralateral movement. Works our coordination a little bit. And rest. Let's flip over for push-ups. Ooh, it's a lot hotter than I thought this morning. All right, last set of push-ups. Wall push-ups, knee push-ups, full push-ups, elevated push-ups. Nobody's watching except for yourself. So do what you need to do to make it happen today. Always try to make it the goal, though, to make it for 1 minute. So if you can't make full push-ups for 1 minute, don't do full push-ups. Over time, you continue to do those, and you'll slowly build up. All right, 20 seconds. And rest. All right, flip over into crab position. We got our Rhino reaches next. Ready? And go. These are definitely not advisable to do them with your hips elevated if you have some shoulder issues, because you're really putting almost your full body weight on that joint when you lift your arm up. So again, modification, sit down, reach it over, really try to reach as far as you can to lengthen out those lats as much as you can. You're still going to feel it in your shoulders even if you sit down. House friends are cheering us all on here. And rest. All right, we're up for a fight move next. Again, make these moves snappy. Quick elbow, quick undercut. Get a little bounce in your knees. Work on that hip and knee mobility when you do these moves. Shoulder or elbow and uppercut. And snap it. Ten seconds. Excellent. All right, planks with an arm reacher next. Get into that plank position. Concentrate on keeping that core nice and still. Raise the arm up. Bring it back down nice and slow. Get a little wider base with your legs than a regular push-up. Fifteen seconds. And rest. Whew. Those are some tough ones right after each other, especially when it's a little humid. All right, we're on sumo squats next. Get those feet pointed out to the side as best you can. Track the knees over the toes and go. If you want to feel your glutes engaged, you can put your hands on your hips, wrap those thumbs around to your glutes. And as you go down, you should feel those glutes engaged. If you don't feel them engaged, really try to clench those glutes and activate them. Almost there. And rest. We got raise the roof next. We're almost down to the end. Almost made it. Stick it out, 2 more exercises here. Arms out to the side, 90-degree angle. Push those hands up. And again, you want to make this harder. Pick up the pace on this one. And that'll really engage those shoulder muscles and work on that endurance. You got this. Keep it up halfway for this one. Feels good to get outside. Feels good to get a little movement in the morning. Get ready to take on the day. Whatever you got going on, and rest. All right, everybody's favorite is last, and that's the burpee. Again, do the burpee your way. Whatever burpee you can sustain for 1 minute. It's just 1 minute, and we'll stretch it out. Ready, and go. All right, 25 seconds. All right, we did it. Whoop, whoop. All right, let's stretch it out. Way to go. Love it. Love it. Okay. So grab a drink if you need one. I think I'm going to grab a drink before we stretch out here a little bit. All right. All right, let's interlock our fingers. Stretch it all the way up. All right, lean it over to the side. All right, let's lean it over to the other side. Nice. Let's put our hands on our hips and just roll out your hips nice and easy. Try to accentuate that hula hoop movement. All right, let's switch directions. All right, let's come back to center. Let's go ahead and do a lateral lunge and really stretch out the long side leg. All right, back to center. Let's go out the other side. All right, let's go ahead and stand up. Just roll out your shoulders nice and easy. Roll them out. Pinch your shoulder blades in the back. Stretch out the chest when your shoulders go back, and opposite when you come forward. All right, go ahead and stand up straight. Kind of tilt your head to one side, roll it forward to the other shoulder and hold. Roll it back forward to the other shoulder. We're just going side to side on this one. Really try to stretch out that neck a little bit. Whew, you know what that means. That means we did it. Woo! Make sure you celebrate yourself for being here and doing whatever portion of the routine that you did today. Thank you so much for coming. You can check the bottom if you'd like to get these routines whenever they come out. You can check me out on YouTube as well. I'll post some of these routines on YouTube. And thanks a lot for coming.